Alrighty, guys. Now we're finally live. So sorry about that. That was like a tech difficulty. So if you're watching the recording, skip through about 3 to 4 minutes. I don't know what was going on. Part of the journey here. I'm gonna go ahead and get the link out to new people here. Let's see. Story. Let's go. New link in bio. Okay. If you guys are coming in right now, there was a tech difficulty. Part of the game of setting shit up. 1 second here. Boom. All right, make sure we're good to go. All right. 1 second, 1 second. Tech difficulties. New link. Boom. All right. Let me get this out to everybody. 1 second. Figuring out how to use YouTube. All right. Boom. All right. Think we're in business now. Okay. Thanks for being patient, by the way. I don't know what was going on with that. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna get started either way. Let me come over here. All right, boom. All right, so we're gonna be live on Instagram now. Perfect. All right, what's going on Instagram? There was like a technical difficulty. When I tried to go live, it like sent me a new link. So whatever. So hop on right now. The new link is in the bio, in my bio. That's gonna be the new link. Let me go ahead and put that in. New YouTube link. Oh, new YouTube link in my bio. Cool. All right, thanks guys for being so patient with me. I know I love you guys. All right, here we go. Pin comment. All right, cool. All right. So for those of you, what's up, Alma? Tuning in from Cali. Thank you so much. I don't know what was going on with the technical stuff, but hey, that's part of the process. But let's go ahead and let's get started. What is going on, everybody? It is your boy. DeAndre Saxton. Welcome to the Saxton Show podcast. We are rocking and rolling. You know, what am I even supposed to say? Like, I'm excited that that everything is coming together in the perfect time. So, what are we talking about today? What is change, and why is it so hard to improve your life? Like, one of the things that's coming about right now is just simply putting together this simple podcast. There's a couple technical difficulties that sometimes we got to go out there. We're trying to build our business. We're going to quit our job and go full time. We're trying to do all these different things. And then guess what? Shit falls apart. And for some of us, we don't know how to respond when shit falls apart. But guess what? We get up, we get better, and I'm excited to make it happen for you guys. So go ahead and hit that like button. If you're watching me right now, whether you're watching me on Instagram or you're watching me on YouTube, share the link, because the one that we had pre-planned wasn't working. I don't know why, but now we have the new link I had to create. So we're here. Make sure everybody that was supposed to be here gets it. Share it out in your group chats. If you're in network marketing, get your team on here, because I'm going to be talking about some stuff that will help your team quantum leap. I'm talking about making more money, getting more people on your team. If you're in sales, making more money, go ahead and share the link, get that out there, and we're going to go ahead and rock and roll. So without further ado, let me go ahead and cover a couple things with you guys. For those of you watching live on YouTube, thank you so much for the support. I see that the likes are going up. Thank you for being patient with me. All right, so here's the big promise. At the end of today's call, you're going to understand the difference between the conscious mind and the subconscious mind, but most importantly, how to get better results and make sure that your results stick. So if you're, whether you're one of my clients right now watching the call or you've seen me on one of my Zoom calls, today's call is going to be different. This is going to be material I haven't trained before. That way your time here is super, super valuable. Okay. So, like I mentioned, my name is DeAndre Saxon, and I've used this same information to change my life. I was sleeping in my car for a long time, for about 5 months, and some of the things that I've learned took me to 6 figures a month in a matter of a couple months. And so the information I'm sharing with you is stuff that I've gathered for either my mentor Bob Proctor or Joe Dispenza. So we're gonna go ahead and take this information and make sure you implement it so you can go ahead and see changes in your life. So make sure, if you haven't subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. It shows support. You know, YouTube likes when you hit that like button because it's going to share with other people. And then guess what? Share the link. Share the link. Let's grow this call. This is not a call just about learning information, but it's going to be about community. It's also about community. That's why if you're watching me on Instagram, hop over to YouTube so you can join the community. Go ahead. Actually, I'm really curious. In the chat right now, where are you watching today's call from? Where are you watching today's call from? Okay. So while you're typing that in, let's go ahead and let's get started. And by the way, it is Friday night. It's 9 p.m. on Friday night. And I want to say this. I am actually very proud of you, because it'd be so tempting to go out right now and be out having dinner, socializing, going to the bars, going to the clubs. And quite frankly, that's something that I would be doing on a Friday night too, about a month ago. But then I realized that I have a bigger purpose, a bigger calling. And why not, for the people that decide not to go out, why not give them some content? So instead of watching Netflix, why not be here watching the Saxon Show live, or at least watching the recording? So without further ado, let's hop into today's content. So we're talking about change. What is it, and why is it so hard to stick those disciplines? We have certain disciplines that we've been trying to stick. Check this out. I want you to write this down. We have anywhere from 60 to 70,000 thoughts per day. Anywhere from 60 to 70,000 thoughts per day. And did you know that 90% of the thoughts that you think on a daily basis are the same as the day before? 90% of the thoughts that you think on a daily basis are the day before. So what does that mean then? Think about that. So if you're thinking 60 to 70,000 thoughts per day, and 90% of them are from yesterday, what does that mean about tomorrow? That means that tomorrow is going to start to look a lot like today was. So we have to first get that thinking that most of us are trying to change our life. And what does that look like? We're trying to make more money. We're trying to save more money. We're trying to get in the gym. We're trying to go to bed early. We're trying to wake up early. We're trying to implement all these different disciplines and make our life better. But yet, 2 weeks in, a week in, it's like we revert back to our old self. And then we start to beat ourselves up, saying, maybe it's not for me. No, it is for you. You just have to get a little bit of understanding. So if you believe, which I think most of you here believe this, if you believe that your thoughts control your future, then what does that say about your future if 90% of what you thought of today was the same as yesterday? You know, by the time you're age 35, most of the programming that you have will be stuck there for a long time. Let's go. If we go out right now on a street and we talk to an average of 100 people that are above the age of 35, their life will be exactly the same this time next year. But yet they're going to be complaining about the money, the government, this and that, their job, their boss, their business, their social media, their followers, and everything else. But yet it's their hard wiring that has been changing everything. Emotions. What are emotions? Emotions are a record of the past. Write this down. Emotions are a record of the past. Because if you've felt something before, that means it was something that was in the past. Like, for example, if you've never, let's just say theoretically, you've never tasted a pineapple. How am I supposed to explain to you what a pineapple tastes like if you've never tasted one before? You see, that's the same with your emotions. Your emotions are something that you've tasted before from an experience. And those emotions start to get hardwired into the different energy centers in your body. And if somebody is not actively creating a new future emotions, by default, they're gonna go back to their future programming. Or their past programming. if you don't start to implement new emotions into your life, by default, you're going to fall back to past thinking and past emotions. If you're going to change, if you're going to start implementing a new thinking pattern, one of the things that, we just had the new year right now, and most people are trying to set in a new year resolution, right? They're trying to get in the gym. They're trying to wake up early. And what starts to happen is their old self and their new self starts to fight each other. It's like consciously they're saying, all right, I know I got to get in the gym. I know I got to wake up early. But then when it gets to that point, it's time to go to the gym. It's time to wake up early and that alarm goes off. It's like there's like another part of them that's fighting them to stay where they're at. Here's one thing I learned about change, especially when it came to meditation. In order to change, you have to be greater than the body. You have to be greater than the body and greater than the subconscious mind. Now, you might be asking me, well, what does that sound like? Well, let's just say, for example, let's just say theoretically, one of the habits you're trying to implement to go out there and grow your business and stay more productive. Drop a 1 in the chat right now if you want to be more productive. You want to be more productive throughout your day. You want to get more stuff done so you can make more money, have more happiness, and have more purpose. Drop a 1 in the chat. So one of the things that you're going to try to do is implement new habits. Now, what actually are habits? Habits are actually learned emotions that are programmed into your subconscious mind or your body. So take this into note. I might say the body or I might say the subconscious mind. Those two words are interchangeable because your body literally is an instrument of your subconscious mind. So whatever's on your subconscious mind is expressed through your body. So if I say body or subconscious mind, they're both the same. And when somebody has been living the same routine, look at this. When somebody has been living the same routine for years, the body takes over the program better than their conscious mind, and that person loses their free will. They begin to lose their free will. So the person that has been, let me tell you this, if you've been at your job for more than 2 years, or you've been doing, your life has been pretty similar over the last 2 to 3 years, there's a major chance that your subconscious mind or your body has taken over. And it's a good thing and a bad thing, just depending on how you programmed it. Nothing is good, nothing is bad. It just is. So why does this happen? You see, your body starts to take over habits. That way you don't have to put so much energy onto thinking. Imagine if you had to relearn how to drive every day. Imagine if you had to relearn English every day. If you had to relearn how to put your shoes on and tie your shoe and put clothes on. Imagine if you had to relearn those things every single day. Your brain, we wouldn't be able to progress as a society, or you wouldn't be able to progress in your life. So what happens is those thoughts that become habitual or muscle memory start to imprint into your subconscious mind. That way your conscious mind doesn't have to rethink, or relearn how to drive, how to dress, how to tie your shoe, how to drive to work, how to do your job, or whatever it is that you're going after. But then you start to learn habits that are not to your benefit. You start to overeat. You start to sleep in. We start to go out. We start to do stuff that doesn't go towards our benefit. And then here we are. We go into business and we're trying to change our life. We're trying to take massive action. Our leaders on Zoom calls are saying, do more work, read more books, go to more seminars, join more Zoom calls, prospect more, do more sales calls, do all this stuff outside of us. And yet we do it, or we try to do it, but then we default back to our old selves. And then we start to beat ourselves up. Drop a 3 in the chat if you know what I'm talking about here. I know that was me for a while. And what starts to happen is you lose your free will to a program. What's something that makes you different from every other living creature on this earth? A bird can only be a bird. A tree can only be a tree, but you have choice. You have free will. But many of us have lost our free will to our program, our bodily routines. And if you don't understand the two parts of your mind, you're going to sit in this cycle like a hamster wheel year after year. You're not making the money that you want to make. You're not having the relationships you want to have. Your body's not where it wants to be. You're in this cycle and you feel like, what is going on with my life? I understand what to do. I'm reading the books. I'm going to the seminars. I know consciously what to do, but yet my body does something differently. And whatever, we have to understand this, whatever actions or whatever way our body is moving, that's the results we're going to get in our life. Write this down. It's not what you know, it's what you do. It's how your body acts that starts to produce the results in your life. Results being the money or whatever it is that you want. No amount of information, reading, or understanding of just basic information will change your life until you change your subconscious mind or your paradigm or your programming. How is it, you might start to ask, how is it that the greats, I'm talking about the Drakes, the Michael Jacksons, the Steven Spielbergs, the Michael Jordans of the world, right? The greats in whatever industry, how was it that they became, they started off as regular people, but then over years and years and years, they became the greats in their industry, started dominating whatever it is that they touched. Here's the reason why. The greats of the world changed because they had seen a vivid idea of the future that they actually started to think and act and feel as if it was already real in the present moment. In the present moment. We can get into a whole conversation on time, which we'll talk about in a second. But in order to start to change the future, I'm curious in the chat, if you want to change the future, where would you start? There's 3 places that you can start: the past, the future, or the present. There's 3 places in time that you can attack in order to change your future. So you can change your future by looking at the future, right? Looking at the future, future pacing, looking at the present, or changing your future by reflecting on the past. Which of those do you believe is the best and the quickest way to change your future? I'm really curious to see what you guys are going to say. Let's see what you guys have to say. So while you guys are typing that out, here's the answer: the present. The glorious present moment. The present moment is the only place in time that you actually have control. What is depression? Depression is looking backwards. What is anxiety? Anxiety is looking forward. But when you become present, that is when you actually take control of your life. And I'm talking so present that you forget you have a body. You become pure consciousness. Now, for some of you that went over your head, for some of you, you're like, what are you talking about? You're definitely going to want to stay tuned to the end of this video and more episodes, because we're going to start getting into this. If your thinking starts to equal your environment, you will keep reliving your environment. What does that mean? Here's a common error. I was speaking to one of my friends earlier today, and he was saying, DeAndre, I'm struggling with my sales, right? He sells a high ticket Amazon product for about $25,000. And he was telling me all the things that were going on outside of them that weren't working. He was like, DeAndre, right now, my sales are not there. I think I got to build a sales page and this and that and this and that. And he was telling me all the reasons of why he believed he was not making money, which sounded totally valid. And I said, bro, I agree with you. Everything that you say you need. He gave me a list of all the problems, but I said there's one problem that you haven't listed, which is the underlying out of all of those. And he was like, what is it? And I said, you are the problem. You are the problem. You see, your business is a reflection of you. People don't have business problems. People have paradigm problems that reflect in their business. People don't have business problems. People have subconscious problems that reflect in their business. Your business is a reflection of you. If your money is not there, it's not the business, it's not the outside world, it's you. The outside world will always be a mirror to the things that you project to it. If you see negativity in the world, it's because you have negativity within you. If you see people as judgmental, angry, any of that sort, selfish, then you have to look yourself in the mirror, because the universe will always reflect back to you the emotions that you are harboring within you. And in order to change your environment, you're going to have to become greater than your environment. And that's one of the hardest things to do, family. Let me tell you that when you're sleeping on a couch, when money's not there, when rent is due and you don't have it, it is so hard to actually think of something different. And this is why I don't know who it was. Oh, Neville Goddard. Neville Goddard said the hardest thing that a person can ever do is think. And thinking doesn't just mean, okay, what am I going to eat today? That's not thinking. That's routine. That's memory. Most people live in memory, and that's at 90%. It's memory. Thinking is actually being constructive and creating something brand new despite what you see in your environment, what you see in your business, what you see in your bank account, what your back office says, what your sales calendar says. You have to become greater than your environment by creating something not only in your mind but in your heart of that which is not here yet. And that's when it starts to become difficult for most of us. Because how can we hold this image in the screen of our mind of having wealth when yet the bank account says you're past due? How do you begin to get past your environment? Let's talk about it. Drop a 3 in the chat. Actually, we did 3. Drop a 7 in the chat if you want to understand and learn how to get past your environment. This is the secret to change. You want to implement those habits into your life, you will have to become better and bigger than your environment, than what you see around you, than what your friends say, than what society says, than what Instagram says. Damn it, we have, 8 people watching live. I have to be bigger than the environment. I have to be bigger than what that number says. Because if I act and give you the energy of the amount of people watching now, we will never grow. I have to be bigger than the environment, as if there's 8,000 people watching, and then the universe will fill the space. You got to make space for it by seeing it in your mind, but also feeling it in your heart. If you're feeling me right now, say something in the chat. So we learned one thing. We have to be bigger than our environment. You want to change, you got to be bigger than your environment. That's number 1. Number 2, you got to be bigger than time. You're going to be greater than time. You got to be greater than time. Now you might be asking me, DeAndre, what does that mean? Greater than time. What is memory again? Or sorry, what is emotions again? They're memories of the past. Emotions are memory of the past. So if we were to look at the past, then we would say that the past is known. The past is known because you know how to do it. What did you do yesterday? Maybe you learned a new route to work. Maybe you learned a new word in Spanish. I don't know, but you know it already. If you were to look at the past, it's known already. That's pretty simple to understand. But check this out. The future, for most of us, is predictable. If I said, all right, DeAndre, with an 80%, chance of you being correct, what would your day look like tomorrow? And most of you would know what your day looks like tomorrow. You would know around what time you wake up. You would know about what you would eat for breakfast for the most part. You would know what route you'd drive to work. You would know what time you would get into work, what time you get off. You probably know about how many sales calls you have tomorrow. You probably know about how much money you're going to earn tomorrow. You know all of that stuff tomorrow. See, the future becomes predictable. Why? The future becomes predictable because the thoughts that you're thinking of today will control your future. Your past is known, and now your future becomes predictable. Tomorrow will be predictable because of the thoughts you're thinking of today. So that's why for most of us, we're going out there and we're trying to change our life, make more money, instill new habits. And yeah, it's like, damn, you start to beat yourself up after 2 months and it's not working out for you. There's only one place that there's 2 things that you need to do. You have to get over your future, and you have to get over the conditioning of the past. You have to get over the conditioning of the past, and you have to get over the programming of the future. Your future is programmed because you're programmed. Your future is programmed because you're programmed. And let me tell you this, your programming is probably not the way you like it. Your programming didn't even come from you. It came from your outside world. It came from your friends, family, society. There was something. I'm doing my own inner work here, guys, and I'm not perfect. And one of the things that I was doing a meditation today, and I realized that there was a lot of energy stuck in my first center. And I was like, what is that? Our first center being our sexual energy, right? And I was wondering, like, what is this? I had some energy stuck in my first center. I'm like, what is this? And I asked, during my meditation, I went in and I asked myself, what would that be? And then a word came up. You know what that word was? Lust. Lust. There was lust, which is, by the way, one of the lowest vibrations out there. Lust was in my first center. And I was like, okay, like I heard the word lust, but I didn't really know what it was. And I went to go do some research. I started watching some videos and I got the understanding of what lust was. And I was like, holy shit, that is what I've been dealing with. And I'm getting personal with you guys, but that's the truth. Society has said that it's normal to lust, that it's okay to watch certain things online. If you guys know what I'm talking about, that pornography is okay, that, lusting over a woman or lusting after, casual sex is okay. And with that comes the consequences. You see, that's an example of programming, and programming that's not to our benefit. That's one example of a programming that has been instilled in us, and that's one from society. That's just one. How many do you have within you from your parents, your family, your teachers, everybody that came out there? Guess what? The reason you earn the money you earn is because of the way you've been programmed from the people that were around you. And then you get into business, especially network marketing, and it starts to expose you. Business will expose your paradigm so fast that you don't know what to do and you're going to want to quit. And if you haven't quit yet, you're feeling the pressure right now. Business will expose your programming. And business is an opportunity and a vehicle that pays you exactly what you're worth. If you're not happy with your income, get better. We get paid in the value we add to the marketplace. So you might be valuable, not might, you are valuable in the eyes of God. But let me tell you, when it comes to the marketplace, if you broke, you're not that valuable. And people vote with their money. Well, how do you become more valuable? You got to start to program yourself to be valuable. Start to work on yourself, but not just in the conscious mind, in your programming, in your subconscious mind. Start to rewrite your habits. Don't learn more, rewrite the habits that produce the results. You get paid not for what you know, but for what you do, the results that you produce for people. If this is making sense for you, drop an 888 in the chat. If you're on Instagram right now, hop over to YouTube Live and join the community. What's up, YouTube community? I love you guys. Thank you for supporting and doing it the right way. So there's one place that you can change, and that's in the glorious present moment. Here's the hardest part about change. The hardest part about change is making a different choice in the moment or today. That is the hardest part about change, is you literally have to fight two parts of you. One part of you says, okay, I'm supposed to be in bed at 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock. That's one side of you that says, no, you got to be in bed at 10 o'clock. But then the body says, or your old conditioning from yesterday says, yeah, but that Netflix series sound good. My friend invited me out to eat. All these different things. Your conscious mind and your subconscious mind, or your conscious mind and your body are fighting each other. That's the spiritual battle every single day. And guess what? It's not going to get easier, but you can train your body. Write this down. You can train your body to get better results. And we're going to start talking about that here in a couple of minutes. If we don't get to it, we'll talk on the next call. You got to train the body. It's called self-discipline. But let me tell you this, self-discipline, I don't like that word. I do not like the word of self-discipline. By the way, let's take a little break. Hit that like button, family. Show me some love. I love it, guys. We hit more likes today than we did on the last call. I'm loving you guys, sending you guys a lot of love, sending you guys a lot of energy. Thanks for supporting. Share the call, because we're going in. We are going in. We are going in. And also hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Let's go. Let's get back into it. The hardest part about change is making a different choice. But imagine this. Remember, like back in the cartoon days, you have you have like the devil on the shoulder and the angel on the other shoulder. Imagine it, right? Like in the normal day-to-day life, that's like 50-50. What if you could silence that little voice or the little devil and you became less 50-50 and more like 80-20? Drop a one in the chat if that would sound interesting to you. That if you instead of the word self-discipline, where it's like you have to fight yourself to go to bed, you have to fight yourself to go to the gym, you have to fight yourself to eat healthy. It's like you gotta fight yourself. Drop a one in the chat if you don't want to fight anymore and you rather just become effortless. Like life just should be effortless. What if you could silence that little voice that says, no, it's okay to eat the cheeseburger. No, it's okay to not make the sales call today or whatever, habit you're trying to discipline. Well, there's a way. There's a way to silence the mind. There's a way to silence the body. Did you know that your body does not like unpredictability? When you're in the glorious present moment, that is an unpredictable time. You see, if we look at the past is known. That means we've already known it. It's known. If we understand that we have 60 to 70,000 thoughts per day, 90% of those thoughts are the same as yesterday. That means that tomorrow will look 90% of what it looked like today, which means it becomes predictable. You guys following me here? It becomes predictable. So the past is known, the future is known, the present is unknown. The present is unknown. And here's what's going to start to happen. When you start to produce the unknown or the unpredictable, your body is not going to like it. Your body, you've been programmed to be known, like to know your environment. You want to know that if, like, literally from a pure, what's the word I'm looking for? Like animalistic programming. You want to know that if you go into the cave, that you're not going to be eaten by a tiger or saber-toothed tiger. Like you've been programmed that. We've all been programmed like that for centuries. So we've been taught biologically, that's the word, biologically, to live in the known, to don't go outside, to don't jump off the cliff, to don't eat those weird colored berries, to don't go out there and quit your job, to don't go out there. What if you get rejected if you go out there and try to live your dream life? We've been programmed to live in the known, but guess what? The known is not where your dream life lives. Your dream life, the goals that you want, do not live in the known. And this is where most people get afraid because they're going to jump into something they've never done before. I call it the unknown zone, or if you've been on one of my calls, the terror barrier. You're going to go up against something that your body's not going to like. And if your body is more powerful than the mind, if your body has become your mind, you will lose every single time. If your body has become your mind, you're going to lose every single time because your body does not have your best interest in mind. Your body wants to keep you safe and secure and warm and lovable. But guess what? It doesn't want you to win. It wants you to stay safe from saber-toothed tiger. It doesn't want you to go out there and become a millionaire and grow your freaking business and get out there and start shit. Sheesh. Can I get a sheesh in the chat? Somebody's pumped up right now. So the real battle is the old self versus the new self. Right, hold on, let me get this guy out the chat. Make sure he came in last time. Hide user. Cool. Hold on, guys. All right, that guy is deleted. When a person begins to change, they interrupt the known. When a person begins to change, they interrupt the known. Chemical addictions. What are some of your chemical addictions? What are some of your chemical addictions, aka your emotions? The emotions of lack, the emotions of loneliness, the emotions of anxiety. There's certain parts of the day where you've literally programmed yourself to be anxious. You've literally programmed yourself to be lonely. How many of you, be honest, feel a little loneliness on a Saturday, Friday night if you don't have a date and you feel like you need to go out and distract yourself? You programmed yourself to be lonely or anxious or afraid or fearful or worrisome. My grandma has programmed, love you, grandma. Grandma has programmed herself to be this anxious little butterfly. I don't know why I said butterfly, but she's an anxious butterfly. Follow me here. Those are called chemical or emotional addictions. When a person begins to change and interrupt their known chemical emotional addictions, It's at this point the body will crave the known emotions to influence. Sorry, it will begin. Hold on, let me repeat this one more time. I'm like doing too many things. When a person begins to change, they interrupt the known chemical emotional addictions. And it's at this point the body will crave these known emotions to influence the mind so that the body can return back to the familiar state of being. That is called the known. The unknown. So here you are, you're in the glorious present moment. The glorious present moment. You have the ability right now to change your life. And you have the devil and the angel on your shoulder. And guess what? If I was to be 100% honest with you, your body, for most of us, even if you're watching this call, and this is where acceptance comes into play, your body doesn't want you to win. Your programming, your subconscious mind doesn't want you to win. It doesn't want you to change. And this is why for the last 2 years, 6 months, 3 months, your life looks the same as it was last year. Your life looks the same at this point this year, give or take 5 to 10%, the same as it was last year. Why? Because your body doesn't want you to change. It wants you to stay safe. It wants you to stay predictable. The body does not like unpredictability. Your mind does. And this is why you can see it and you're reading and you're going to all this stuff and you can feel it. You're like, fuck. I didn't finish the word. Fuck. You're frustrated. What is frustration? Frustration is knowing what to do, but not doing it. Frustration is knowing what to do, but not doing it. That gap is very expensive. That gap between what you know and what you do is causing your unhappiness. It's also causing you to lack in your business, and it's causing you a lot of money. If you do exactly what you needed to do, then you would already have the results because you know what to do. But that body keeps fighting you. Most importantly, because you have conditioned the body via the addictions of emotions. And one of these calls, I don't know which one of them, but we're going to get into the energy centers. And you're going to start, if you want to start researching on your own, that's totally fine. Your first 3 energy centers are your survival energy centers. Your first 3 energy centers are your survival energy centers. And there's a lot of pent up emotions that make you human and they get calcified or they like stack on each other like Jenga inside of your energy centers. And then we try to go out there and create something new, start a business, and like we're stuck. Like I mentioned earlier, there was a emotion of lust that was stuck in my first energy center, but then I can start to heal it. And when you heal something, you release that energy. And there's only one place that energy can go: up, 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 up. Think of it like Jenga. The energy must go up. It can either go out or go up. And with proper breathing techniques and meditation over the Saxon show, I will teach you guys how to take that energy up from the energy of consumption or the humanness and take it up to the quantum. We're talking about quantum leaps here. Guys, we're not here on this call just to watch random information. We're here to freaking quantum leap and change our freaking life and live the life that we've meant to live, that God has had us, that wants us to live. And we're here to serve people at our highest level by becoming the best versions of ourselves. And we need to be equipped in the war in order to do that. But in order to be equipped, you must gain understanding and knowledge of yourself and the universe and how it works so that you can go out into the battle with the proper tools. But we have not been trained to get the proper tools. But this call, this show, this podcast is equipping you each and every single day to get out there and make some changes in your life. Can somebody say something in the chat? Let's go, let's go, let's go. I'm feeling it right now. Sheesh. Meditation. Guys, meditation has changed my life. That meditation, what is meditation? Meditation is when you become present. Meditation is when you get out of the past. You get out of the known past. And because there's no such thing as time in the quantum field, do you think that God has a 3 p.m., a 7 p.m.? No, God does not have a time. Time is infinite loop. Time is something that us humans have created so that we can live our day-to-day life, but it's also a constraint. So when you're in meditation, you're not in the past, you're not in the future, you're in the now. And the now is what? Unpredictable. It's unpredictable and it's scary. And that's why some people, they get afraid of meditation. But I'm talking about real meditation here. Like, I think there's two kinds of meditation, at least from my experience. I'm not an expert at this. One type of meditation is the person that says, DeAndre, I tried meditating. I put a little bit of, and this is me, by the way, so nothing wrong with this, okay? DeAndre, I put on meditation music and then I might meditate for 20 minutes, but then after that, my foot starts falling asleep. I get hungry. I need to go to the bathroom, or I get bored, or I can't do it. And then I go back to normal life. That right there is a superficial meditation. Nothing wrong with it. That's what I used to do. It wasn't that until I went to a Dr. Joe Dispenza event that I learned about real meditation. I'm talking about meditation where you pull your mind out of the body. You start to pull your mind out of the body. When you pull your mind out of the body and you start to hang out in the quantum field, in the nothingness, where you're nowhere, no time, nothing, you're not a person anymore. You're just pure consciousness. That's when you start to become the most present. You're not thinking about food. You're not thinking about your foot falling asleep. You just become one with source, one with the quantum field, one with God, however you want to talk about it, when you can pull your mind out of the body. We'll talk about that in other calls. Via meditation, we can install new thoughts into our brain's paradigm, right? Our programming to look like we've already done it. And here's what the key is. You see, where can we actually start to implement change? Change starts in the present moment. And via meditation, we become present. We're not thinking about tomorrow or the bills or the sales calls or what you ate yesterday. We're not thinking about any of that shit. We become present. And in the present moment, we can start to implement new emotions. Remember, what are emotions again? It's the past known experiences. But what if you could do this? Let me ask you a question. What if you could reprogram your emotions or your body to feel something that you've never done before? And you start to feel it as if it's so real that you can feel it, touch it. Your eyes are getting teary-eyed because of the experiences that you're reliving, or that you're living, but yet you haven't experienced it yet. Imagine that. Imagine that. How cool would that be? Why is it that we go over particular goals? We go over particular goals because we want an experience. You don't want the money. You want the emotions that the money will bring to you. You don't want to just stare at a stack of money like this. Look at this. You just want to stare at a stack of money like that? No. You want the emotions that this stuff is going to bring to you. The freedom, the abundance, the ability to retire your parents, the feeling of what it's going to be like to live in your dream house or drive your dream car, to feel accomplished, to feel proud of yourself. That's what you want. You don't want this. You want the emotions and the experiences that come along with this. But who was to say that we can't experience those emotions now? Who is to say that we have to wait for the world to present this to us before we can feel the feeling of abundance, worthiness, and what it feels like to retire your parents, put your kids in a better school, and retire from your job and have a life of freedom? Who says we got to wait for this to show up before we have the feelings? See, if you ask that question, you're on track to something special happening into your life, because you can start to implement and experience those emotions before you ever touch it via your imagination. Your imagination is what God gave you. That's literally God living within you. The ability to create, you create with your emotions. And via meditation, you can imagine yourself living that dream life and start to actually feel as if you have it in the present moment. I don't know what that is. Who's calling me? Hold on, guys. And you can start to experience it in the present moment. You know this, the mind cannot tell the difference between a real thing and something that's imagined. The mind cannot tell the difference between an imagination or something that's real. You know why that is? You don't see with your eyes, you see with your mind. Let me repeat that one more time. You don't see with your eyes, you see with your mind. If I was to say to you guys, close your eyes right now, close your eyes, and reimagine what my studio looks like. For many of you, you would probably see me in a black shirt. You'd see the red chair. You would see that little spinny thing that looks like it's hypnotizing you. And you would see the little colors in my background. And you see the camera moving back and forth. Remember the stack of money on my table. So you see, even though your eyes were closed, you still saw, because you don't see with your eyes, you see with your mind. And instead of looking backwards in the past of, for example, looking at my studio, use it to go forwards and see the life that you want, but not just see it with your mind, experience and feel it with your heart. Thoughts are the language of the mind. Feelings are the emotion, are the language of the heart. You must have two things to change your life. And we'll talk about this on the next call. If you want to start to change your life, you need one, a clear intention. What is it that you want? You need to go into your mind and select from the catalog of life. What do you want? How much money do you want to earn? It's not good enough to just say, I want more money. Great. I'll give you $1. You have more money. 10,000 a month, 20,000 a month, 50,000 a month, 100,000 a month, $1 million saved, $2 million saved, a house in the Hamptons, whatever the hell you want. What do you want? That's the first thing. But that's where most people hiccup and stop. You need a second thing. That is an elevated emotion. Sheesh, I think I'm going too hard on you guys right now. I think this might be a little too much. I think I'm going too hard on you. Like, whew. Drop a 3 in the chat if you think I'm going too hard on you right now, or if I'm spitting some for you guys. Hit that like button. Hit that like button if you're watching on YouTube. If you're watching me on Instagram, get over to YouTube. What you doing on Instagram? Get over here. That's right, guys. You need an elevated emotion. That is the secret. The secret is feeling. The secret is an elevated emotion. The secret is an elevated emotion. When you're imagining your dream life via your meditation, you're reconditioning your body for a new emotion. And you know what the cool thing about it is? It's an emotion you haven't experienced in the 3D world, in the physical world. It's something you're experiencing here. We learned a couple minutes ago that we don't see with our eyes, we see with our mind. So if we build such a vivid picture, a clear intention of what it looks like to achieve that goal, and then you raise the vibrations by starting to feel it, you raise and elevate your emotions, your body can't tell the difference. It starts to believe it as real. And like taking your body to the gym, you put on new muscles into your body, into your emotions that say, hey, I am a money magnet. Money comes to me in increasing quantities from multiple sources on a continuous basis. And you start to become greater than your environment and greater than time. Are you guys feeling me right now? Are you hearing me? You become greater than time and greater than and greater than your environment. When I was sleeping on that couch, I didn't see myself as a broke 24-year-old that was living on a credit card. I saw myself as somebody earning $100,000 a month. I saw it. I felt it. I envisioned it. And less than 60 days later, it was sitting in my bank account. I earned $100,000 in 17 days. I never earned that in 5 years. You can't tell me that was a coincidence. You can't tell me that was chance. You can't tell me that just I stumbled across it. No, I stumbled across these two things: a clear emotion and a clear intention and an elevated emotion. That's what I stumbled across. And if I can do it, that means you can do it. With right now, with what you have, with the information in the same environment, with the same phone, right now, you can change your life. By the time March, April comes around, damn it, June, you could be at 100K a month, 50K a month, 30K a month. You can turn your annual income into your monthly income by summer if you start to have a clear intention with an elevated emotion, and you start to train your body, like training your muscles, right? You go to the gym, you train your muscles, train your body to have the emotions of the wish fulfilled. And if you're going to do it in your conscious mind, it's not going to work. How many of us are writing goals or writing goals or writing goals or writing goals? And it's like you're not really seeing the results because your conscious mind doesn't speak to the body. Just writing it down and using this intellectual mind doesn't speak the language of the body. You have to speak the language of the body. Well, what is the language of the body? mentioned it earlier. Elevated emotions. You see, if you just simply write your goal and you see your goal, you're speaking the language of thoughts, the language of the mind. But you got to speak the language of the heart, which is feelings. Way better. I don't know. What's up, Mike? I see you. That's what you begin to do. Repetition of the same thoughts and emotion in the meditation are key to planting the new software. Here, write this down. I would have a notebook, guys. By the way, guys, people pay me a lot of money for this. People pay me to work with me one on one with your company is $30,000 for 3 months. If you're in my group session, group calls, it's $10,000 for 6 months. I'm giving you this for free. So I would have a notebook if I were you. Check this out. Write this down. Here's the key. You must train your body emotionally. You don't train the body with the thoughts and writing your goals down and I'm so happy and grateful I'm a millionaire. No, affirmations don't work. You must train your body emotionally. Like you train for muscles, train the body for emotions. What the future will feel like before it ever becomes manifest. You must train this body of yours to feel the emotions of your goal before it has become manifest. Well, how do you do that? It's in the quantum field. The quantum field is the way in which you train. So, guys, we already hit 55 minutes. So, on the next call, I think we're going to start getting into the quantum field. We're going to start getting into meditation. So, right now, what is it that you've learned so far today? You've learned that in order to change, you have to become greater than your body. That up to this point in your life, you are a set of programs that came from the outside world, the outside environment, and they have been instilled in you. And now you run your life 90% on this program. And then you go out there and you try to implement more changes, like wake up early, go to the gym, eat healthier, make more money, save more money. You're trying to implement all these changes, but you're fighting the programming that's been set in you for 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years, and it's not working. We also learned that in order to make changes, we have to become greater than our environment and greater than time. Well, how do you become greater than your environment and become greater than time? Is by being in the present moment. Because the past is known, the future is predictable, and when you become present, you can actually get into the unknown zone. You can get into an area where it's unpredictable. And unpredictability, you can start to create. Well, how do you start to create? Well, on the last call, we talked about having a clear goal. What is your goal? What is your C-type goal? What is the vision? How much money do you want to earn? How much money do you want to earn? That's what we talked about last call. If you haven't watched it yet, go watch it on my channel. Make sure you subscribe, hit that like button, and go watch it again. So we have a clear intention, but now we learned today that we can't just have a clear intention, that we must raise our emotions and raise our state so our heart starts to feel as if it's done already. And the only place we can do that is in the glorious present moment. Well, how do you do that? We learned the tool today, or the skill, which is meditation. Drop a 3 in the chat if you're excited to when we get to one of these episodes where I start to guide you through meditations. Are you guys excited for that? Because right now you're learning the what, but you want to know the how. You want to know the how. Make sure you subscribe. Keep watching the episodes because we'll eventually get to the how, okay? So when we get to the meditation, we can start to actually live in the present moment and start to train our body to live the emotions as if it's done. Because who said that we have to wait for this before we experience, until we experience the emotion that this comes with? Because we don't want this. We want the emotions that it comes with, the emotion of retirement, retiring our parents, the emotion of what it's like to have freedom, the emotion of what it's like to send our kids to better school, the emotion of feeling accomplished, the emotion of eating better, having a better house, a better car, better business, better freedom, better choices in your life. That's what we want. We don't want the paper. We want the emotions. But who said that we need this before we ever experience the emotion? And that's what we do in meditation. That's what we do in meditation. We do it in the quantum field. I'm going to leave you with this final note. When you start to feel the emotion of the thought, it becomes your experience in your mind. Because remember, we don't see with our eyes, we see with our mind. When you start to feel the emotion of the thought, So when the heart and the mind become one, the heart and the mind become one. It's called brain heart coherence. Sorry, brain heart coherence. Your brain or your mind and your heart are coherent. They're in the same alignment. When your thoughts start to elevate your emotions, they become one. It is at this point you have now experienced something in your mind, and your mind sees it as real. And you do it over and over and over, day to day. Every day I do my 1 hour meditation. Every day. That's the most important part of my day. My 1 hour meditation is the part of the day where I'm closest to my goal. I'm literally the closest to my dream and my goal every 1 hour meditation. Why would I not want to feel that joy? Why would I not want to feel that joy? It's so important. This is a sampling. Check this out. This is a sampling or reconditioning the body for the future. After this moment, deep reflection starts to create something really important for you. It's time to start to recondition the body. It is time to put ourselves in the life that we really want. You want to change something, recondition your body. How do you do it? Clear intention, elevate emotion in the present moment, and start to train that body like going to the gym. What does it feel like to wake up at 6 a.m.? What does it feel like to go to the gym? What does it feel like? You start to become the person. I don't got to fight myself to wake up early. I don't got to fight myself anymore. It starts to become who I am. Woo! Guys, what an episode. What an episode. We're not done yet. We have a couple Q&As. I'm curious, do you guys have you have a question? Drop in the chat right now. What questions do you have? And hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We're going to grow this community to over thousands of people watching us live. I just feel the energy. Those people are looking. They are people right now. By the way, write your questions while I'm talking here. Write your questions. I'll answer any questions you have. It can be about today's call, yesterday's call, or a future call, personal question, any of that stuff. Write that question, okay? But here's how you want to think whenever you're out there wanting to serve people. Those people are out there and they're looking for something. They're looking for your opportunity. They're looking for your community. It's just it's solely up to you to get out of your own way so you can actually attract them. I've attracted all of you on this call here, and I'm gonna attract the rest of the people, but I need your help. I need your help to share this call. I need your help to share the videos, right? We're going to start posting the videos on YouTube and on Instagram. Share it with somebody. See if they want to be part of this community. I can't wait to have, we say, what country are you watching from? We have 200 countries watching live. We have 5,000, 10,000, 20,000 people watching live. Guess what? And you're going to be part of that community. How many people are you going to meet in the community? You might meet your future boyfriend, girlfriend, client right here in this community, but it comes to all of us together. Yeah, I'm the face of it, but you are the face of the community, each and every one of you. Okay, Amanda has a question. Amanda says, I struggle with the feeling or it comes from seconds and goes away. Any tips? Well, I struggle with the feeling or it comes for the seconds and goes away. Any tips? So what I'm thinking of, if the feeling is not there, so we can only have one emotion at a time. We can only have one thought at a time and one emotion at a time. So what I'm thinking is you're consciously trying to feel an emotion, right? You're consciously doing it, and then you get distracted by something else because you're still in your body. The best way that I've learned so far is by pulling your mind out of the body, and you become less matter and more energy. Less matter. What does that mean? I gotta go to the bathroom. I gotta pay rent. My foot's falling asleep. I'm hungry. Who's calling me? What are those people honking of? Why is that person playing loud music? All that shit is bodily. You're hearing with your senses. But when you get into the quantum field via meditation, all that goes away and your senses get lowered and you start to live less from the outside and more from the inside. And when you're there, you have more control. You silence the body and elevate your consciousness and you have more control. So when you feel that emotion, you can stick it longer. You can feel those emotions for 20 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour, and you start to train your body. It's like, imagine like training your body, hitting it without resting for like imagine going to the gym and not having to rest. You just pump, 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 pump without having to rest. That's what the meditation is. You're pumping your body with new emotions, training your body for those new emotions. Best way to do that, pulling the mind out of the body via the meditation, okay? Alrighty, family. I love you guys so much. When is our next call? Tuesday at 9 p.m. We have Tuesday and Friday at 9 p.m. Hit that like button one more time. We hit 10 likes. I love you guys. Guys, you're the future. All of you. I think we had up to 14 people today. We hit a new record, right? Watching live. You are the future. This call right here, you are the future of something massive. Each and every one of you that supported today's call, that's wrote in the chat, that gave a like, that shared this video, you are the future. Because one day we're going to have events, we're going to have seminars, and the people that you're chatting with in the chat, the people that shared this and shared that, maybe you share this with somebody, he shares it with somebody else, and you meet that person at the seminar here in Miami or in Dallas or in Orlando or in freaking Chicago. You meet that person, you change their life. This community is what you are one day going to be a part of, that you'll be able to meet these people in person. So I want to thank each and every one of you for engaging, for sharing, for showing support, because this is not just the Saxton Show. This is us, a community growing together, growing awareness, changing lives, and helping other people in the process. I love you guys. Thank you so much for attending. I'll see you on Tuesday at 9 p.m. Love you. Take care.